Hey guys, Shadowblade Gamma here with Team Guard, and today I'm bringing another deck profile, and this time it's a first time on the channel, I do believe. In real life it is. I'm not sure if I did a deck profile of it on Death Pro or not, but it's a Sylvans, which I've had since the beginning of the April format. It's a really fun deck. I've had a lot of success with this on DN and playtesting and like against other people, so it's a really fun deck. It's competitive to a degree, mostly because you're milling and you don't necessarily know what you mill. But I try to make it as consistent as possible, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get right into the deck profile. Lineup, so we got triple. Sylvan Hermitry, he's really good. His effect is basically, well, each Sylvan monster has two effects. One based off milling of some kind, another one based off their excavation effect, which means if they're excavated from the deck, they get an effect. So his initial effect is, once per turn, I can mill the top card of my deck. If it's a plant, send it to the graveyard, which in turn activates their effect. If they're a Sylvan monster, and then I get to draw a card. So he's the draw engine of the deck. And then secondly, his second effect is if it's excavated, he's a what's it called? I think it's pigeon holding, something like that, pigeon holding effect. If you know what a guy's talking about, it's a really old card. But its second effect is I can look at the top three cards of my deck and rearrange them in any order. And what a lot of people don't realize about that effect is that you don't have to show your opponent the cards. It just, because since it says look and not reveal, you see the cards and your opponent doesn't see the cards. So that makes this card really good in the deck. So yeah, and also it's level 8, so it makes your Felgrand plays, which is really cool. Next we got the 3 Sage Koya. Sorry if the lighting's a little bit bright, because it's like a cloudy day, so I have to use like a lot of light. So you should be able to see everything fine. But yeah, so triple Sage Koya, really good. His first effect is when a Sylvan monster is sent to the graveyard, either from deck or from field, excluding the damage deck, you can special summon this guy from your hand. So it's a free 26 beater that you can use. And then the second effect is he has the excavation effect as well, where you could just mill the top card of your deck. Nothing happens after that, he just mills the top card of your deck. And if it's a plant, send it to the graveyard. If not, put it on the bottom of your deck. So it was kind of good. I wish it had a draw effect as well as Hermitry to speed the deck a bit more, but it would be a little bit broken. So I understand that. And his last effect is if it's excavated excavated and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Sylvan spell and track card in the graveyard and add it back to your hand, which can either be the field spell or it can be Charity. I usually go with Charity for this guy because it's just really good, just looping your draw card over and over again. And it's really broken when you think about it, to be able to potentially use a draw card like 6 times in a game. So for the 1-ofs, one Cherub Sprout. Cherub Sprout's pretty cool. I only run one of it, but basically when it's excavated, it gets special level 1 from your deck, so it can be Rose Lover or Spore or Glow Up Bulb or anything along those lines. And then when it's special summon, you can choose either 1 or 2, then excavate that many from the top of your deck. So I don't use the excavation effect that much. It's mostly just sending it to the grave to get a Spore. Usually it's Spore, get Spore, Glow Up Bulb, or anything like that. One Chroma Shurmo is just backer removal, really. And it's also a Curry Bandit when it's flipped face up, so kind of good. But I don't use it as a flip. I don't use it that often, so I might just take this out. But it's okay. It also has like a 2K. There we go. Has a 2K or 2000 defense, so it's pretty good. For the 2-ups, we're running 2 Princess Sprouts. Really good for your XC plays. So its first effect is you contribute this card on the field, excavate the top card of your deck, and then place 1 Sprout monster from your graveyard to the top of your deck, which includes herself. So you contribute herself off, and then mill the top card, then target herself, and then special and put her on top of the deck, which helps out in case you need a guaranteed mill. Because cards like these that guarantee your mills is really good. What I mean by that is that basically you excavate Princess Spell's effect, you mill a card, put this on top of the deck, and then if you have a Hermitry, you can use Hermitry's effect to dump this, draw a card, special it, and then activate its second effect, which is you can basically make it any level between 1 and 8. which helps for Xseed plays, then helps for synchro plays. So really cool. That card. The next we have two, if I can pick up the card, Martial Leaf, which is really cool. His first effect is when it's normal summon, I can choose either 1 or 2 and excavate that many from the top of my deck, which is really good. Really good effect to use. In case you have a really dead hand, you can just drop this and then get your deck going. And then his second effect is when it's excavated, I can you can target one monster in the field and then blow it up. So it helps with field control, because really you can. The good thing about Sylvans is that you can stack things to the top of the deck. So if you're in like a tricky place, and like your opponent has like a Vandy's on board, that you can stack this to the top of the deck and then just use like a random mill effect or excavate effect to excavate it and then pop the monster and then get rid of the Vandy. So it's a really good card for getting out of situational plays. And then I play, the last Sylvan I play is 3 Peacekeeper, and Peacekeeper is probably my favorite Sylvan out of all of them, partly because he's adorable. Well, they are adorable since there's 3 of them. But his effect is when he's normal or special summoned, I can excavate the top card of my deck, which is really cool. It kind of sucks because he's level 1, so you don't want to be doing that very often. But there are times where you have to do it, or you're just going to be behind a turn. But his second effect is just really good. It's when it's excavated, it can target any plant in your graveyard and special summon it, as long as it's between the levels of 1 and 4, or level 4 or lower monster. So it's a really good card for bringing back like Lone Fires or Glow Up Bulb or Spores that you've already used earlier in the game, and just helping you with doing different types of plays within the actual game. And also, like I said, you can bring back Lone Fire Blossom, which is probably the most broken thing this deck can do, is just use Lone Fire Blossom over and over again. So you gotta run it at 3. Everybody knows what Lone Fire does. You tribute it, or tribute a face-up monster, special plant type monster, tribute a face-up plant, and special 1 from your deck, which is anything, so you can Lone Fire into a Hermitry, which is really good first turn. But this card is just really good. And also, if you've never played the deck before, I know if you played Gigavise, you go Lone Fire, Lone Fire, Lone Fire. In this deck, just go Lone Fire and then just go straight into whatever you want to go into, because that way you don't waste your Lone Fire effects. If you have Soul Charge, go in all 3. But if not, you just save resources because you use the first one, but then there's still 2 in your deck in case you get into troublesome plays, or you get like Darkhold or Regeki at the wrong time, where you can't recover from it. So it's just really good. This is a proxy, but I do have it coming in the mail, and also my friend is using my other playset of these. So these are Curry Bandits. Yeah, so these there'll probably be a mail day video about this pretty soon. But yeah, those are the Curry Bandits. Really good for the deck. Immediately gets your plays going. Really good. Next we have the Rose Engine, which is 1 Rose Lover, 2 Rose Paladin. I used to switch him and have 2 Rose Lover, 1 Rose Paladin, and 2 Rose Lover, but Rose Lover just didn't get to the grave enough, so I switched it with these 2, because these can search out your Sage Koyas, and then if you already have this in the grave, you don't have a Hermitry, you can dump this and get a Hermitry, or go Rhoda for this get Hermitry, and just deck thin, and just get these out the deck, since these are the only non-plants in the deck. So if you mill Ult and Curry Bandit, but if you mill these, it puts you back, kinda. So yeah. Next we have the Synchro Engine, which is 1 Glow Up Bulb, 1 Spore, and then 1 Dandelion. I was running Debris, but I never drew it enough. I mean, if you want to put Debris in here, you can. When I did use it, it was really good. It's going for Black Rose plays, or going for like Iron Chain plays, which I still can do. It's just not as often without Debris, even when I draw it. But yeah, but these cards are just really good, especially if you're using Peacekeeper with Dandelion, and then Synchro withing it. I can't speak. Synchro with it. Yeah. That's it for the monsters. It's a lot of monsters, I think. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 27 monsters overall. For spells, we got Triple Charity. Really good. Really good spell card. This card is broken. I still don't know why this card's at 3. Still at 3. But I'm not complaining because I can just max out on it. Basically what this card is, it's a Grace and Charity, except instead of discarding the 2 cards, you stack them to the top of your deck, which in turn is not a bad thing, because Sylvans run off of excavating, so you just excavate pieces that you need for that turn, and then dump them, so you just get plus off of it. So this card is really, really good. And like I said, you can get added back to your hand with Sage Koya, so it's never really, when you use it, it's never really gone. Put this over to the side. Next we have Triple Mount Sylvania. You might be saying, why run Triple Mount Sylvania? And the reason is you need to get to the card as quickly as possible, because the way the format is going, you need to, Sylvan's first turn plays are very limited in what you can do. Unless you just have the perfect hand, you're not going to be able to set up a stable board that can last through a turn with Double Dark Hole, Raigeki, Trishula, Brio, and also the stuff that we have in the game. So you need to have this card to set up your plays and just get your deck rolling, because let's say you don't have anything, then you can just go for like a Mount Sylvania and then like dump something and then stack a Charity to the top of your deck. Even if, so you might get Trished, yeah, but you're just losing a Sylvania, which isn't anything, and you probably just dump something that's dead in your hand. So it just helps get your deck going really, really quickly. For me, I was running 2, but the problem was I just wasn't seeing it enough, and so I just bumped it up to 3, and I love it at 3 because it's just really, really good. At 3, you can't really complain. And then running the 1 terraforming, like I said, just get to it as quickly as possible. Next we have the triple Miracle Fertilizer. This card is good. It's a plant monster born every single turn. So this card is just good, and the best thing about this card is people don't read card effects, so they treat it like it's Call of the Haunted. So you'll activate its effect. You activate its effect and you special the monster, like fine, and then they'll go like MST. Some people just MST it on, just activate it as MST it. Let's say they don't. They expect the monster to be destroyed by Miracle Fertilizer, but it's not. It's the other way around. If the monster is destroyed, then this goes away. But if you just kill this, the monster stays. So it's really, really good. And it's really cool with Aurea, because if you use Aurea's effect, you can bounce fertilizers back to your hand and then reactivate them, which is really, really broken to do, because you're just getting free monster reborns. And that's what I really love about this deck, is that you can do really, really broken stuff in it, and it's not that hard to do. It's really not. And then for the last cards, we got the 1 Soul Charge, 1 Foolish, and then 1 Rhoda. Rhoda is basically for my Rose Paladin, so I can go Rhoda for Rose Paladin and get like a Sage Koi. That way you're just getting stuff out the deck to make your consistency up. Foolish Burial is just a tech card, really. You can switch this out for anything. I don't use it that often, but if you find something else like tech-wise that you want to use, just take out the Foolish Burial. You really don't need it. With the ability to just stack stuff to the top of the deck, it's not a necessity. And then so for extra deck, we got a 1 Mega Fan Beast Dragosei. I don't go into it that often. Really with the way the meta's going, I can't really go into it that often, because there's so much like destruction and like targetable, like banishment, like Burning Abyss, stuff like that. It's hard to go into Dragosei. I mean, it's still a good card, is being able to just pop stuff and just live through things, but with just so much stuff, it's just really hard to keep it on board. 1 Master Blades. This is supposed to be a big eye. I'm just lazy about picking up a big eye, even though I just bought so much stuff and essentially a Satellarknight core. But I mean, Master Blades is good too. I like going to Master Blades against Burning Abyss, since they have so much targetable stuff, so it's really good against that. 1 Aurea, because Aurea is the queen of this deck. Aurea, her effect, she has 2 effects. People don't realize she has 2 effects, which is really, really good for you. And the first effect is you can discard or send a plant type monster from your hand or graveyard, and then look at the top cards of your deck up to that monster's level. So if you have like a level 8, which is either Branches Sprout or Hermitry, then you can look at the top 8 cards of your deck and then rearrange them in any order. And then after that, you can use her effect to mill the top 3. So it's just really, and then after that you can target cards in the field and send them back to the hand. So like I said, you can use Aurea's effect to stack like 3 cards that can activate as soon as her effect resolves, and then like bounce like 2 miracle fertilizers, and then use them again, which is really cool. So this card is really broken, and also its stats are ridiculous with 28 on attack and then 25 defense. Really good. One Alcay, I don't use Alcay that often. Really, like if I play in a tournament, I might use this once, maybe, but it's there for its big old booty. Look at that big old booty. Well, that big old booty. But yeah. Next, we got 2 Felgrans. I mean, it's the best level 8 that we have. It's really, like, most decks, if you go into a Felgrand, you just automatically win, because there's just not much they can do to inevitably get over the Felgrand, and this deck puts out 2 Felgrands really quickly if you play right. So it just helps out so much within the actual deck. So it's just really good. So that's it for the like seeds. I just run 6 of them. It's really all you need, really, because you don't really need like melee of the trees. You can run it. It's just I don't have 2 level 3s on the board that often, because I'm usually just dumping the little ones to get the big ones, if that makes sense. For the synchros, we got 1 formula. Here we go. Again, here we go. 1 formula synchron. 1 Gataster. Never go into it, but it's a cool tech card. Armades go into it occasionally. Iron Chain Dragon, really good against certain decks, just being able to mill all their key cards until they get rid of it. It's a really cool tech card that I run. 1 Goyo, because Goyo is boss. 1 Ancient Fairy. It's another way of getting your field spells and stuff like that. So why not run it? Also just 3k booty. So like Black Rose, it's a nuke. Spark Dragon, because Spark Dragon and Felgrand is keying. And then 1 Leo, because Leo is the best. And I also run tokens. So I got my Mega Fan Beast tokens and my Karibo tokens. So guys, that's my Sylvan deck profile for, what is this, May 2015. Hope you guys liked it. I love playing this deck. It's a really fun deck to play. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more Team Susty Guard content. And as always, it's Shadow Wing Gamma with Team Susty Guard. Say peace, and see you later.